Sony is going to push aggressively quotes into mobile gaming. Yeah, because it's interesting. They back in or early this year, they opened a studio that is going to focus on quote full-fledged game titles that make use of PlayStation characters and IP, as well as Sony's experience in the video game market. So they will be going. I mean, this was like a result of the Pokemon Go popularity, of course. They said, okay, Pokemon Go really changed the way people walk in real life, and that's of course true because if you see a Blastoise, you go that way. So Sony was really interested in that, and they said, yeah, we're going to push aggressively into mobile gaming as well. And remember that they already did this a little bit. They did it with the Neck app. I don't know if you know this app, but there was like an app that it was like a Candy Crush clone. But if you did that, you can then go back to the game and get some in-game currency or whatever. If you played this app, you also had, if I remember it correctly, like an endless runner with Uncharted, or no, with Ratchet and Clank. You had that for the Nexus game. So they had some tie-ins. Didn't work out because we don't see them anymore. The PlayStation Mobile brand is kind of gone. But no, they think that maybe if we go for the full-fledged gaming experiences on mobile, maybe we can, win something back. And I think that what Sony is doing right now, of course, with the PlayStation 4 being there, this is for the gamers, the best place to play and stuff like that. If they go and say, if you want real gaming experiences on mobile, because let's be honest, there are not a lot of that. We have like Gameloft with all the clones of Halo, of Grand Theft Auto, of Call of Duty. We got that over there. They present that a little bit as the console gaming experiences on the go. But if Sony can come out and say, hey, this like Golden Abyss Uncharted style game is on your mobile phone, might be interesting. But I'm curious, what do you think Sony needs to do, or what franchises should Sony go bring into the mix here to be successful in mobile gaming?
I think that they need to actually go full fledged mobile gaming in a sense. Not obviously like go away from their main hardcore gaming division, but they need to give it a full shake. They can't sort of just go up to the mobile gaming market and be like, oh, we got some IPs here. We're just gonna throw some random half-ass games out into the market and they're gonna work. They can't do that. There's already developers out there that were formerly very well known in the South Korean market, for instance, that's big on mobile gaming. The two ones that come to mind is Nexon and also NCSoft. They've been trying really hard to push in the mobile gaming market, and they've been failing pretty badly. These are two companies that are very big in Korea, and so if those two big behemoths in the South Korean space cannot push into it because the Chinese have such a big dominance in the space, then Sony definitely needs to, give it a really aggressive shake and get into it with, full steam. They can't just sort of, release games that are sort of gimmicky. They got to release stuff that's original, that people want to play in mobile, that are, short but fun experiences. So that way they're very mobile friendly. And I think that with their franchises, with Uncharted, I think that they can do some interesting things with that. And also with some of their other franchises as well, like God of War, I think that mobile could play a really integral part of sort of how they move forward to push their IPs out there. And for people like myself who, maybe want a game on the go, if they have like God of War mobile or whatever, it could be very interesting. It certainly could be, a really interesting title. So,
did you play Infinity Blade on mobile phones?
No, I don't think so.
It's from Epic Games. It's like a game where you play a knight and you advance into this castle, and every time there's like a new boss, and you fight like by slicing to the right. You do a right attack.
Oh, I've heard of that, and I think I might have played it for like 5 minutes, but I really played
Okay, I thought that game really suited the mobile franchise. It looked very cool for that time, and I think a God of War Infinity Blade type of game would be pretty cool, actually, because
go ahead.
because I don't believe that because what we see with the Game Loft games, and I played those pretty extensively back in the day when I just got my iPad. I thought, okay, I want cool games for this system. The like virtual like cursor or like pad, your control stick, that's not real. It's on the screen. It does not really work that well. I think for shooters, pretty okay, but for like games like God of War or something like that, if you cannot play that with buttons, it just feels like a less interesting experience. And what we see right now with Pokemon Go, it really looks at, okay, what does your mobile device have? GPS, wireless connection everywhere, and yeah, we just look at that and make a game around that. I don't say that Sony needs to go and make Uncharted that you can find treasures in the world. Maybe they will do it, but I don't think that's like the right call for them. But maybe look at what can God of War be as a mobile game, and not make a God of War game for mobile platforms, because
they actually have a lot of you mentioned sort of like how God of War may not play well, but there's actually a lot of action RPG style games. There's one called HIT, which is by Nexon, that I've played a little bit of, probably about 4 or 5 hours worth, and I think that game plays really well. I'm one to hate touch controls. I despise touch controls, but that game's not really that bad, and I think that if they optimize it well enough, they make it basic enough but fluid enough, and maybe even make it so the basic controls have combos that you can do by mixing and matching different, combinations and sequences of abilities. I think they can make a compelling enough God of War experience similar to that you would find on a PlayStation Vita, type experience. And especially with phones becoming more and more powerful, I think that is definitely something they can do, because HIT, it's in the Unreal Engine, and that game looks actually really nice on mobile. So I think that they could go a more mobile route with God of War.
I played that as well.
Yeah. I think that they could go sort of that route, make it so it's like dungeon based or instance based in a sense, but make it so it seems good enough where it's progressing the story. So like maybe there's like a cinematic that plays, and then you go into the stage or whatever, you can explore a little bit for like 5-10 minutes, max 10 minutes, and then another cinematic plays, and then there's maybe a boss fight, and then however the rest of it would go. But they could do it in that way it's micro experiences, but at the same time it feels like a AAA experience on your phone. I think that would be very good.
That would be interesting, and like you said, HIT, it's a pretty good example of a game that can work. It's downloaded 1 million times on the mobile phone, on the Android market, I see here, so that's pretty okay. But what I find also interesting, and that's also a big part of mobile gaming, that's the monetization. And with Sony being this game company that everyone looks at as the guys that make AAA gaming experiences for PlayStation 4, I don't think they should nickel and dime stuff. For example, have this God of War game and then sell you loot boxes to have like better equipment so you can easily rip off the heads of all the enemies. I think they should go for a play this first level for free. If you like it, pay $10, stuff like that.
Definitely.
And I don't think that's. It will be interesting to watch if that really succeeds in the mobile space, because the mobile space, I mean, there are a ton of mobile phones. The technology is pretty great. I mean, this HIT game, I look at screenshots right now, it looks pretty cool. So that's right. But people are not used to paying stuff on mobile phones, and that's like, I think it's so hard to crack, and just a few games get it right, and it will be hard. I think it's smart for. Sorry.
Here's something that's interesting that they could do. Imagine if it was cross-play with the PlayStation 4, for instance. So it's like a $15 package, or $10 with a cash shop that has different cosmetic things, like make Kratos look like a golden, I guess you could say, dressed up character,
big heads, Kratos,
or big head or whatever. Cosmetic stuff that the average person like myself doesn't really care too much about. but maybe someone who's a super fan wants to, unlock all these and buy them for like $1 or so a pop. But also make it so all your progress, because you sign in with your PlayStation account, is tracked, so that way on your PS4, you also own it, and you can boot it up on your PS4 when you come home and you want to play on the couch, and you can play it on the couch, not have an issue with it, not lose any progress, and be good to go. That way it's a dual experience, and kind of what it sounds like Nintendo's trying to do, but it's not really making it an exclusive because it's also on mobile devices, but you can sort of aid your experience by just popping it on the PS4 as well and playing it on your couch at home. I think that would be an amazing thing for them to do, and I think that could really sort of even add on to the value that they're trying to promote that the PS4 has in the future, and drive more console sales, because people will be like, oh wow, these games I have on my mobile device, I could now play on my PS4 too.
Super good point. And I also think that people, if they buy this game on PS4 or play the first level and then buy this game on PS4, then have it on their mobile device as well, it really is also, I mean, you're used to buying games on your PlayStation Network. I mean, for €20 or $20, that's normal. On your phone, it's different. But if you buy it on your console, then get it on your phone, I think this could be a really nice thing. One thing that we have to know though, and that's also what they talked about Pokemon Go as their like thing that they see and say, okay, we now have to go very aggressively on that. I think they will go for also mobile only experiences, because touchscreen, how can you do that on the PlayStation controller? You don't want to like swipe on your touchpad of the controller. That just doesn't really work. And I also think that games that, okay, HIT works pretty well, and I think a God of War game could work as well. But I think that games that really utilize the mobile platform, one good example is Clash Royale. I don't know if you played that. It's like this tower defense card game where they really, it's like games of 2 minutes, but they are super intense and super awesome. And I really like this game, and that can only be played on the mobile platform. But they really looked at what's popular on the mobile platform. Let's combine that. Let's put a nice monetization behind it. You really don't have to pay if you can be good with just playing. And that's doing like crazy. Of course, they have the Supercell developer behind it with Clash of Clans that really pushed it and has like a ton of marketing dollars. Of course that helped, but I mean, if the game wasn't good, people would not play it. And I think that, play it for a long time. And I think that that's also an interesting way to look at it. The games that do well on mobile, Candy Crush, Pokemon Go, this Clash Royale game, Clash of Clans, it's like because they're used to be on mobile phones. They make use of the touchscreen. They make use of what mobile stands for, that you can play on the go for 2 minutes, be done with it. And I really think that Sony needs to look at that as well. But I think your PS4 thing is also super interesting.
Certainly, and the other thing too is the PS4 is a very versatile, the PS4 controller, the DualShock 4 controller, is very versatile, because you have not only the touchpad that they could utilize to maybe make some of those more Clash Royale type games work a little bit better and feel a little bit better, but they also have the gyroscope as well, where you can sort of point at the screen where you sort of want to click. And it would be sort of an interesting experience, and I guess you could say a more interactive experience if you had that as sort of an integral part of converting that over to the PS4 too, because you could sort of point at the screen and click, or hold down X and then swipe with the gyroscope. It could be a very interesting and interactive experience that would definitely set those games apart from just your standard mobile experience, because you could also play them on your couch as well.
I want to add one little thing, and that's the Vita, of course. They're the Sony's handheld.
Yeah.
It's like I made a video about the future of the PlayStation Vita. You can watch that on my channel. It was talking about if Sony would do it, they would only focus on the Japanese audience or just simply not do it. And I think that with this statement that they will go aggressively into the mobile devices, they will make exclusive games for that. I don't think a new Vita is possible at all. I think the chances get slimmer and slimmer each day. And if this pans out, I hope it. They will go forward with this mobile strategy. Maybe if it doesn't pan out and the NX is doing really well, they will go for a new Vita. But right now, I don't think we will see a Vita till 2020 at the earliest, if we will ever see it.
Hey, we joked maybe the Vita 2 is a phone as well, and they're replacing the Xperia line. Alright.
What PlayStation mobile games would you like to see? Let me know in the comments down below. Like this video if you did, and listen to the Everything Gaming podcast for more topics like this. This was a topic from the second Everything Gaming podcast. You can find the link to the podcast in the description below. Subscribe for more awesome gaming videos. Goodbye.